welcome back to Iris Anime Hub. In part 1 of Sanda, Filmora stabbed Sanda to death, bombed the school just to force him to transform into Santa Claus so that she could find her missing friend Ono. Here is part 2. Later that day, acting as if nothing had happened, Filmora visited the boys' dorm to give Sanda a box of brady beans, just in case. The dorm mates grilled Sanda about his relationship with Filmora. Then Sanda realized that he no longer had feelings for Filmora. She seemed more like a child than a girl. In other words, not only his appearance, but even his heart was gradually Santafying. While he was troubled by the thought, his roommate Amaya appeared, stunned him with a taser. When Santa awoke, he was Santa Claus again, and beside him was Filmora, who had been kidnapped here as well. Amaya revealed he had been the one spying outside the lab. Confused, Santa asked what he wanted. Amaya said he wanted nothing. He simply enjoyed having others under his thumb. With only 50,000 kids left in Japan, children were treated as treasures. At 14 years old, Amaya could do anything. Under the Youth Protection Act, even killing an adult wasn't a crime for minors. To mess with them, Amaya proposed a deal. If Santa and Filmora kissed.
Not just a peck on the lips, though. You have to lean in and really suck some face.
He would let them go. Hearing this, Filmora urged Santa to comply, but Santa's Santa Claus genes would never allow him to lay a hand on a child. Yet facing such a cruel, dark, and violent kid like Amaya, he didn't feel like being some kind of model Santa Claus either. In his fury, sleigh runners appeared beneath Santa's feet. With a single slash of his foot, he cracked the ground wide open. Santa was horrified. Why did Santa Claus, meant to bring joy and never harm children, possess such violent power? As he stood there, stunned by the thought, an old hand reached in, and the headmaster appeared. The headmaster, a 92-year-old, obsessed with youth and children, whose face can no longer make any expressions because of countless collagen injections, asked Amaya why he's in the off-limits lab. Santa hid behind a desk, knowing the man despised adults but adored children. His obsession created a trauma-free curriculum, keeping every student under constant watch. When Amaya denied having trauma, the headmaster said he hated dishonest kids most, and ordering Amaya to be taken to a semi-basement for correction. Filmora was shocked. The rumor of a semi-basement was true? Suddenly, Sanda burst through the wall, slicing the headmaster's face with his blade blade. The wound didn't bleed because of countless injections. Sanda now knew there was something wrong with the headmaster and entire school. That's why his weapon exists. It's to protect children. He launched an S-shaped attack. The headmaster mocked him, asking how an old man like him could protect students. In response, Santa asked him,
"What'd you have for dinner 2 days ago? If you can't answer within 5 seconds, it'll prove the rejuvenation you've done hasn't helped your brain stay young. 5, 4,
Let's see.
3,
No, hang on here.
2,
Just give me a second.
1.
Was it braised fish, or did I have that yesterday?
0.
Caught off guard, the headmaster froze, and Sanda seized the chance, sliding away with Filmora and Amaya. After they got to safety, Filmora slammed Amaya's head against a railing. Now that Amaya knew too much, he had to be silenced. Panicked, Amaya confessed he only wanted Santa Claus to return to save his family's struggling cake shop. In an aging, childless Japan, Christmas had died. If they could prove Santa Claus was real, maybe the holiday would become popular again, and his family's business would thrive. But Filmora scoffed. All children will one day become lying adults, so she didn't believe Amaya's story. Yet, from Amaya's earnest faith in Santa Claus, Santa could sense he wasn't lying. After eating a brady beans and turning back into a child, Santa asked them to keep his secret. The headmaster was already suspicious of them. As long as they kept a secret, he would do whatever he could to protect them. Meanwhile, the headmaster confirmed that the old man he had just seen was indeed the legendary Santa Claus. He contacted the Scenic Pursuit Unit, a special task force dedicated to hunting Santa Claus. Lately, strange things have followed Sanda. Objects falling for no reason. Earlier, a classmate said he was sweet for getting a loose thread on her hair, and pencil case immediately dropped to the ground. It wasn't the first time something like this had happened. Worried, Sanda turned to Fuyumura and Amaya, the only ones who knew his Santa Claus secret. Fuyumura didn't understand why Santa would need a power that just knocked things over. Amaya joked, maybe Santa's body was too small to contain the power, so it leaked out. Feeling insulted, Santa asked how tall Amaya is.
I'm about 5'7". Hey, maybe what triggers the new power is people lying, because the truth is I'm 5'6".
They guessed. Santa could sense naughty kids, and Sanda's Santa gene had evolved into light detections. Sanda refused to believe it.
My pencil case falling to the floor, and Izawa's reaction after I touched her hair can only mean one thing.
You're too sweet, Sanda. This weirdo touched my hair without asking for permission first. There was nothing there. He was lying. Facts. I'm the cutest girl in class, and I can totally tell when critics lie about stuff being in my hair.
Damn, my life's over. She thinks I'm a liar and I'm gross.
He decided to drop the subject, but ran right into Headmaster, who said he was looking for Fuyumura. Suddenly, Fuyumura confessed,
I've been keeping a secret from you for a while now.
Huh? What is it?
I like you. And I always have. Always.
They fled. There was no doubt now. Sanda can detect lies. They decided to use it to find the missing girl, Ono. They questioned classmates about Ono's disappearance. When a student said, Ono's dead, next second a book fell. Fuyumura demanded to know who said it, but before they could continue, Sanda fainted. Waking up, Sanda hated the power. He feared hearing kind words, because when something fell afterwards, it felt like the sound of his heart breaking. Fuyumura told him those lies were too trivial to care about. Everyone lies. There are more important matters at hand. To prove her point, she began shouting that she didn't care if Ono was dead. Glasses shattered all around her as she kept lying, smashing the shards with her fist.
Oh, get on with our lives!
In the end, Fuyumura promised Sanda she would never lie to him unless she could take a lie this far. To prove her point, she raised her fist and stabbed Sanda in the chest. Okay, but you don't really have to stab him again. Then Fuyumura just realized how badly her hand hurts, so they rushed to a doctor. Later, the three returned to the classroom. And to their shock, they saw Ono standing by the window. Before they could react, she ran out through the back door. Sanda chased her in Santa form, but she still disappeared into the darkness. Afterwards, Fuyumura was silent for a long time, then suddenly burst out laughing. She didn't know why Ono ran, or what she had been through, but at least she was alive, and that was enough. The next day, the school announced a funeral for Ono, and everyone was required to wear red, so they can send the deceased off in a festive spirit. Sanda sensed something was off. Ever since his Santa gene awakened, he knew the school was hiding something. He decided to skip the funeral and snoop around, but to find Fuyumura turned herself into a bomb again, determined to crash a funeral. After all, minors couldn't be prosecuted for making explosives. On the other side, the headmaster and the Sneak team had planned to use this funeral to capture Santa Claus. Since he only appeared after Ono's death, they suspect a connection and were sure he would show up. During the preparation, Yakilda, the task force leader who had encountered Santa 20 years ago, stepped out for a smoke break and overheard Sanda, Fuyumura, and Amaya talking nearby. To Sanda, Fuyumura's laughter that night had been the greatest miracle. He wanted to see her smile like that again. Maybe that was the true purpose of him as a Santa's descendant, to bring smiles to others. After hearing that, Fuyumura was moved and decided to tell Sanda something important that she was keeping from him. And suddenly,
No! Sanda!
Oh, that was so awesome! That said, I can't pretend I didn't hear what I heard. So I'm gonna hold back my tears of joy and snatch me a big old Santa.
And that's what happened in Sanda episode 2 and 3. I will see you guys on my next video. Bye! Oh, and I colored my last fan art.